Hi, in this demo we want to start talking about assemblies. This demo really is a precursor to what we're going to be doing in this unit, which is exploring some things about the touch interface. The end result, as I've already said in discussion 1, is that we're going to be able to have an assembly which shows the parts in the assembly, and then we'll be able to move those parts around and show the end result of that assembly, or how to assemble the parts into an assembly. So the beginnings of this is we have taken the assembly placeholder view controller and replaced it with a navigation controller class, and then we've got a table view controller here. The table view controller, if I look at that in a little bit more detail, the table view controller is the custom class assembly list view controller, and I've got that here, and we'll look at this in just a moment. But we can see that this is a table view data source and table view delegate, and this table view delegates and data sources back to this class. Now if I look at my parts model, you'll notice that I have added some things into Unit 11, and we're going to be adding more in the parts model. But the very basic information I need is the ability to list out all assemblies in a dictionary, just as we did for the catalog parts, delete all assemblies, and add to assembly with the number, name, and description of that assembly. So we haven't done anything now yet with our join table between assembly and the catalog. We'll get to that in the next few demos. So now the next thing we need to do is we need to get some assemblies into the model. So after we have added these two parts to the catalog, just in BeautyLoad, we're just calling add to assembly twice with the assembly number, the name, and the description of each assembly. And then we're logging out all assemblies right here. So let's go ahead and look at these three methods that we've just added. The first, under this pragma here, all assembly or assemblies, the first is all assemblies. And this is a review. We know how to query the database and get information back, so I'm not really going to spend a lot of time on this. We set up a table. We have our select star from assembly, select everything from assembly, and then we prepare the SQL statement, and if the SQL statement is okay, we step through it, and we get, from star, we get four fields. We get the ID, the number, the name, and the description. We marshal up this data into an array containing the name and the description, and then the number is the key that we add to the dictionary. And once we're through with this select statement, we should have a dictionary containing keys with all the assembly numbers and then name and description for each assembly. We finalize our query, we close the database, and we'll return the dictionary. Now, delete all assemblies, again, is a simple delete query, delete from assembly. No where clause because we're deleting all of our assemblies. We open the database, we we prepare the SQL statement, and then we check to see if the result is okay, and then we step the delete query and finalize it and close the database. Add to assembly is just inserting three strings into the assembly. We take that SQL statement, we make a statement called insert, and then we take the SQL statement, convert it to a UTF string, as we have done before, prepare the insert query, and then check to see if the result is okay, step the insert query, finalize it, and then close the database. So this is what we have done at this point. Now, if we look at the assembly list view controller header file, we see that we've imported main view controller just as we did with the parts list view controller. And then we've also got our define. The main controller is self.navigationcontroller.tabbarcontroller downcast to type main view controller. And then let's look at what happens in here with the table view. It is identical to what happens with the parts list view controller, except we're using all assemblies instead of all catalog parts. The number of sections in the table view is 1. The number of rows in section is all assemblies, all keys count. And then the sulfur road index path is we get a listing key, which is all assemblies, all keys, object, and index with the index path row. We have listing values, which is the array. It's all assemblies, object for key, the listing key, and then the text label we set to the part number, the assembly number, and then the detail text label we set to the name of that assembly. And that's it. That's all we have done so far. And this, as I said, is really a review to get us up to strength on where we're going from here. So when we run this, we will have two views. We will have the parts list, which shows our triangle and our square. And again, we're drawing those here. And then we have assemblies here. And our assembly list is AN002 House 2 and AN001 House 1. These are not ordered because there is no implied order within an NS dictionary. So thank you very much, and as we continue this, we're going to be able to select from this assembly list and see the parts that make up the assembly, and then be able to move them around to build our house number 2 and our house number 1. Thank you.